Hi everyone, welcome back, and today I'm going to be doing what if Lithuania decides to form an empire. So, before we start with the video, I just want to say that with the school now coming up, for me it starts in 2 days, so on the 12th, and these videos, the next few videos will be pre-recorded, so I will be recording them today, and I will be scheduling them, and then on the day it comes, it'll be posted. So, the last video, the Norwegian Empire, and the few next videos will be enough videos either for the week or for 2 weeks or I don't know. But for this video, the last video, and these few next will be enough for the week, hopefully. So yeah, I will record them today and I will post them and schedule them. So hopefully y'all like them. So back with this, we see Lithuania now forming empire, and then they decided to send over ultimatums to the rest of the Baltics, and then Estonia and Latvia decides to agree, and now uniting the Baltics into one. So with the Baltics now uniting, we see that they're now funding some separatist movements in Belarus, some that want to join Russia, and some want to merge with Poland. And then eventually, with that happening, we see Belarus soon split into two. And then we also see some new groups forming, and which they fund some more, and then they start, yeah, and this group will be pro Baltics. So, or, let's just have this way. And now they are able to annex the pro Baltic rebellion, and then with this, we also see that Russia annexes this pro Russian territory, and Poland annexes this pro Polish. And then they send us some funds over to Kaliningrad, rebelling against Russia. And then, with Kaliningrad now gaining its independence from Russia, Russia would send their troops, but eventually they would just run out of resources, and then they would have to respect it. So with Kaliningrad now becoming independent, they invade it. And then, yeah, Russia's outraged, but they decide to just leave it be. So with this new manpower of the Baltics, they decide to try to get rid of their biggest, like, uh, biggest country, like, powerful than them. They could go after Russia, but they would easily be destroyed. So Poland. So they started declaring war on Poland, and with the Polish troops not being prepared, yeah, they pretty much start the invasion, and then eventually they're able to threaten Warsaw and capture their Belarusian claims. Soon, Warsaw is captured, but as soon as the troops already are ready, yeah, pretty much they capture the coast, making Poland surrender. So with this, let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. We see that Poland is fully annexed, and then they decided to send over some ultimatums, more into Central Europe and probably in the Baltics. So they decided to send an ultimatum over to the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Austria, Hungary, and Slovenia and Moldova. Let's just throw in Ukraine too. So for these five, they will want to annex them all. And then for Moldova, also being annexed. And then for Ukraine, just annexing a little bit of their territory to connect with Moldova. And with these five, they could try to beat them, but at the same time, they would be stalemated. And pretty much, if one country falls, it's pretty much, yeah, fall for the other four. So, yeah, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Austria, Hungary, and Slovenia decides to give in, and then they get annexed. with very fast. And Moldova decides to agree despite not even bordering the Baltics yet. They decide to go over to Ukraine, pressuring them to give up some territory, but then they refuse. So they send another one over to Romania, and then they refuse. So they declare war in anger. And then, yeah, pretty much with this, with the Romanians being unprepared, yeah, they storm in, connecting up with their exclave, and then cutting them off from the ocean, and then Romania surrenders. With this, Ukraine gets mad and then declares war. Not Russia, but I mean, we could throw in Russia since, but at the same time, it'll be way harder. So I guess just Ukraine. So with Ukraine being prepared, they are able to liberate a little bit of Romania, and then going into the territory in Moldova, bringing their ocean coast back, and then able to stabilize their government. And then, with the troops already stationed in the Ukrainian border, they pretty much storm in, and then able to get their Moldovan exclave back, and then cut them off from the ocean. And with the most of the Ukrainian troops here, they're able to wipe them out, and then soon going into deeper Ukrainian territory, soon threatening Kiev, and then eventually Kiev falls, and then capturing Crimea. And with this, Ukraine decides to surrender. So let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. We see that Romania and Ukraine has been fully annexed, and now they're connected up with their exclave Moldova. And we kind of see here that yeah, Russia is kind of looking like the Russian Empire, except not expanding more into Europe. It's just with the Baltics now. So they decide to send over more ultimatums to the Balkans, requesting for all of them to join. Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia, wait no, not Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, Albania, North Macedonia, Bulgaria, I mean, and Turkey decides just to give up this part of Istanbul, no, thrice, and then Greece refuses. So, with them already refusing, they decided that they would invade them by force instead of sending them through ultimatums. And then, with Serbia in any alliance with Russia, they declare war on Serbia, bringing Russia into the war. And then, yeah, pretty much, yeah, uh, it's kind of a bit like World War One, but Serbia falls, and then they're able to storm into Russia as they are expecting this. They capture St. Petersburg, cutting them off from the Baltic Sea. And then from Ukraine, we also see that they're being cut off from the Black Sea. Soon, they cut them into two, and then they're cut from the Caspian Sea. So the only access they have is in Siberia. And then, they pretty much already threaten Moscow. Then, yeah, the Kola Peninsula falls. Winter just passed. They're able to hold a stalemate. And then, eventually, Moscow has been reached. And then, after a few more months of advancing into Russia, they're able to go into Siberia. And then, eventually, yeah, Russia surrenders. So, with this, let's look at the peace treaty. So, here's the peace treaty. We see that Serbia has been fully annexed, and they got some territory in Belarus that Russia had to give up. And then Russia has to give up Siberia as any independent nation, or either Russia gives up Siberia independence, or they give up the European Russia independence. and they now move into Siberia. So either way, Siberia is pretty much kind of a useless since all year this area of Siberia is pretty much frozen, and at this part they could access right here, but at the same time there's not much. But they're glad that they're not fully annexed, and that this whole entire European part of Russia has been turned to a puppet state. Even though they won't be able to control it for so much, they are able to make Siberia very weak in case they decide to invade them. And then over here we see that Turkey has regained thrice, as the Baltics needed a lot of compensation for. I mean, so Turkey decides. I mean, no, the Baltics decided to sell Thrace back to Turkey for some money, and then they're able to bring back their economy, their manpower, and etc. So with this, here's the Lithuanian Empire. Hopefully y'all liked the video, and I'll see you on the next one.